Well, hello there, pharmacy owners. Dr. Lisa Faast here, and I'm the owner and CEO of Diversify RX and the Pharmacy Profit Summit. I also own two pharmacies, and I've owned many others over the years. I've even started one from scratch, and I'm here just sharing information that will hopefully help you fall in love with pharmacy ownership again, or if you're still in love with it, to love it even more because you have a successful and continuously profitable pharmacy. And I wanted to chat with you today about a new product that's on the market. It's actually been on the market for a year or just a little over a year. I recently just became aware of it, and it's called Ycanth, and it's the only FDA-approved cantharidin product. And if you're an old-timer compounder like me, I've been compounding for 20 plus years. Cantharidin is a very popular compound, and it was only available as a compound. I never realized back when I was compounding it that it had never been like studied or, clinical trials, like kind of that kind of thing. Like I just figured it was so dang old that, everybody just knew exactly how it worked. Like, I don't know, I guess I never looked into it, or I don't remember looking into it. But I remember cantharidin was one of the first things I ordered. I think I ordered it from Spectrum at the time. And we used to make a lot of it for dermatologists and pediatricians. And it was used for lots of topical skin conditions. One of the most popular is the Molluscum contagiosum. A lot of dermatologists also use it for warts and some other things. Those are off-label use for the FDA-approved product. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Ycanth because it's a little bit different. Very rarely does pharma take something that, was a classic compound, go through the FDA approval process, and it actually comes out better. I do think that that's happened with Ycanth. There are some issues with compounding it and kind of some second order consequences, if you will, of compounding it. Cantharidin is one of those things that every time you open the bottle and you make it and you do stuff with it, it gets more potent as time goes on, which obviously can change your ideal concentrations and things that, we all know it's not good. It's a clear product. And even if you mix it with some of the other things that are common mix ingredients with it, it's still a clear product. And so if you're treating a child that has 30 or 40 bumps all over them, it can be hard for that provider to know, like, did I put this on the bump? Did I hit that bump or did I not? The preciseness of it, because a lot of times they used cotton swabs or cotton tips. And so those weren't very precise. So a lot of healthy skin a lot of times got treated, which we would prefer to leave healthy skin alone. And so in Ycanth, when they went through the FDA approval process, even though cantharidin has been around for literally as long as I can remember, and probably long before I was even around, the FDA made them do all kinds of studies, made them meet all kinds of thresholds for 100% clearing, and all these kinds of things. And they did all that. They went through all the studies, and they also came out with a unique device. So if you look up the Ycanth, you'll see that they're little applicators, and applicators are important because they keep the air out. So that way, it's 0.7%, and it's going to be 0.7% for as long as, that expiration date of that product, which I think is 2 years when they manufacture it. But it's also got a really precise tip. I think it's 0.1 millimeters is the preciseness. You can get a dot just on that little tiny, pox type of bump, really precisely. You can keep the cantharidin off of the healthy skin. They've added the gentian violet. So when you look at it, it's this really pretty purple. And the reason they added the gentian violet, the color in there, is when you put it on the skin, the color is there and you can see which spots you treated and which spots you didn't treat. And it's also self-occluding. So you don't need to cover it once it's been treated. You don't have to bandage the kid up and put a bunch of occlusive dressings. It's self-occluding on there, and for 24 hours, and then you wash it off after 24 hours. And, that's good. They generally, the one treatment is usually what patients need. And so Ycanth is, again, the only FDA-approved cantharidin product. I know a lot of compounders have been seeing fluxes with cantharidin over the past year, and that's probably why. Is a lot of it times you couldn't order the cantharidin. A lot of the suppliers stopped carrying it when the FDA approval came out. There are obviously still some out there, but you also want to be wary that obviously you don't compound something that is commercially available. So make sure you follow the rules there with compounding. And but if your patients still need, like your providers still need, obviously a solution, like it's actually the only, I didn't know this. I kind of figured, like, I never looked at it. I haven't had a child with the Molluscum contagiosum. And I just assumed there was something out there that treated it. Like, I didn't really know. Yes, you can freeze them off. That's usually not 100% effective, obviously still painful for the kid. Or you can, surgically remove them, which certainly isn't painless experience for the kid. So, there's other treatments, but I just had always kind of assumed there was something else. Like, I didn't never really pay attention to it. So when I learned about Ycanth, it's the only FDA-approved product for Molluscum contagiosum, like only. Like, I thought that was kind of crazy, but it's like, so this is the only FDA approved product. The pediatric academies, on the medical side, they are definitely getting the word out that the Ycanth is the cantharidin product to go, to not use the compounding. So you might have noticed either decreased demand. You might have gotten a lot of questions like what products are out there. And so the Ycanth, the reason I think a lot of, I'll say us normal independent retail pharmacists weren't really aware of it is it's not stocked by the normal primaries. So if you go to look to, whoever your normal primary is, chances are it's not there. And so when you go to look up cantharidin, you're like, oh, there's nothing available. And so that was kind of the answer. So there was like this weird, middle of the road land where like nobody kind of knew which way to go forward. So let me tell you how to get it, where it is stocked, and why it's kind of through that distribution channel. So obviously, Molluscum contagiosum isn't, a widespread issue. Obviously, every community has this. It's going to be used a lot, but it's not hundreds of kids, every day coming in with it, thankfully. But it is a condition out there, but it's not something where a product needs to be stocked in every single, warehouse of a primary wholesaler out there. That's just probably, it isn't good business for them, and it isn't good business for the wholesaler. So what they did is they created a distribution channel through FFF Enterprises, FFF. Many of you know FFF because you order your vaccines from there, or you're members of Vaccine Connect, our favorite GPO for vaccines, and you order through FFF, you get your stuff from there. So FFF does lots of things. A lot of people think of them as a vaccine distributor only, but they actually do lots of other specialty and other kinds of products. And so Ycanth has partnered with FFF to distribute the Ycanth product. And there's actually two NDCs of the Ycanth. There's the outer box, the outer carton, which contains 6 of the applicators, and that NDC ends in 06. And then there's the NDC that you bill on the inside, which is each individual applicator, and that NDC ends in 01. Most prescriptions are going to be for 2 applicators. That way the patient just pays the 1 copay. They go to the visit. It's applied by the healthcare provider. Yes, pharmacists, you can apply it if you want to. You just have to go through the training put on by Verica, who produces the Ycanth, but normally they're going to go back to their pediatrician or dermatologist office, and they'll actually apply it there. But that way there's enough, to cover no matter how many spots the kid has. The 2 applicators will definitely get it. Most of the time they just need 1, and they save that second one so in case they need a retreatment later. So but most prescriptions are going to be for 2, and so you order the box of 6, and then you dispense each individual one. And there's a couple of benefits through FFF. Obviously, through primary wholesalers, you're paying your bill every 2 weeks. That can really run down your cash flow. So through FFF and Verica's deal with them, you get a longer payment cycle, which is nice for cash flow. And they ship often, the next the next day shipping, obviously if you made all the cutoff times and stuff. And most pharmacies already have accounts with FFF. So if you've been asked about cantharidin, maybe you're a compounder and you're like, I feel like I'm stuck, I don't know what to do with this. Or if you're just a retail pharmacy, you can order Ycanth, order it through FFF, bill it to the patient's prescription benefits. It is also payable on the medical side. So those of you that might do medical billing or maybe work with the doctor's office, they can also bill it through the medical side with the J code. So that is a possibility there. But for most patients and most plans, it's also covered on the pharmacy side. They do have a copay card, so patients will never pay on the pharmacy side more than $25 out of pocket for it. And it's just a really cool product. It really did improve on, you know, what we used to do as compounders for the cantharidin. So I still remember, like I said, my very first week in my pharmacy, cantharidin was one of the very first compounds that I made. And so I just have fond memories of it. I know it's helped lots of patients. And now we'll be able to help them a little more consistently and also help them with that out-of-pocket cost with that coupon. So hopefully that was helpful to you. I wasn't aware of it before, just because there's a little bit of nuances to it. But if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer whatever I can, whether it's coverage questions, clinical questions. Reach out to me. Happy to answer those questions, and share this with your staff or your pharmacist that maybe need to know. And until next time, we'll chat with you later. Bye-bye.